Hello everyone and welcome to Life Transformation UK. My name is Ben and in this video today I want to talk to you about how you can overcome the disappointing setbacks and failures in your life. Now the first thing to realise when it comes to setbacks and failures is that they are just one of those things that are going to happen. They happen to everyone, no matter who you are, no matter what background you come from, no matter how hard you try. Sometimes you are going to be set back, and when that happens, it's possible that you are not going to feel too great about it. In fact, the majority of the time you won't feel great about it initially. But in order to not dwell on that disappointed feeling, the first thing that you need to remind yourself is that this happens, and it happens to everyone. One of the things that you need to understand about the entire self-improvement process is that even if you do fail at something, or even if you fail at a lot of things, it doesn't make you any less than you were before. And I could make a very, very good argument for why any type of failure will not actually make you less. In fact, it will make you more than you were before. This is because the person that you were before hadn't actually done anything. And now that you have gone out there and you've tried to do something and it's not worked out the way that you thought it would, even though you've not got the result that you want, you are still further along the path than you were before. And what that means is that now you can actually learn the lesson that the disappointment or the setback or the failure has taught you, and you can go back and potentially prevent it from happening to you again. So, for example, when I was suffering very heavily with anxiety and the kind of related feelings, I was trying my hardest to overcome that. But it seemed that no matter how hard I tried, sometimes just from out of nowhere, I would just fall back and all the progress that I made would be lost. And I was just moving and then falling back and moving and falling back, and I wasn't taking the time to really analyse what was happening and figure out how to actually change it to my advantage. And once I started thinking about, okay, what is actually causing this setback, what is actually causing this failure each time I try it, I was able to start to identify trends and patterns. One of the things that I discovered was that when I hung out with certain people, it didn't make me feel great, and in fact I would usually go to bed that evening feeling terrible, and I would wake up feeling even worse because I had been unconsciously dwelling on it throughout the whole night. So what I learned to do was either limit my contact with those type of people or cut them out entirely. And once I had learned that lesson and I stopped putting myself into that situation, that set of failures just melted away in my life, and it's not something that I've had to deal with since, because I am so very careful about who I let into my life on a personal level now. And that's another one of the main things, is that just because you have had a setback or a failure doesn't mean that you should quit. It doesn't mean that you should stop outright. A setback is never a 100% stop. It's only ever a brief pause before you try again. And sometimes you're going to try again in the exact same way as you did before, but knowing what you didn't know before. And some days you're going to be attacking the problem from a different angle. And again, that is 100% okay, whatever your process is, as long as you are learning the lessons and as long as you are applying them into your life, then failure and setbacks stop having that negative emotional connection to it. Even the brightest and most kind of amazing people in the world and in history have suffered from setbacks. You've got the classic Thomas Edison 1,000 light bulb failure stories. You've got the Wright brothers who tried time and time again to make their first aircraft, and it just wasn't happening until the one time that it did. Everyone who has ever become anything has had to go through massive failures in their life. Most first businesses fail, but that doesn't stop people from trying again and again and again and again. Steve Jobs, after he was essentially kicked out of his amazing profitable company that he had built from the ground up, didn't let that set him back. Instead, he went and he worked on different projects and made them successful as well, and eventually it all came back around for him because he was brought back into the fold of Apple, and it was taken to further new heights. And even though he is now gone, his legacy around that lives on in the company, and it continues to grow to this day. So setbacks, disappointments, failures, they happen to everyone, they happen to the best of us, but the important things to remember is that they do not make you any less than you are now. The fact that you've taken the action at all is amazing, and you should give yourself credit for that. Learn the lesson that the failure has taught you, because failures are our greatest teachers. Analyze what happened, why did it happen, and then start to think about how you can work to make sure that it doesn't happen the next time around, because you will have to try again. And you can try again in the exact same way, but knowing more than you did before, or you can attack it from a different angle. But whatever way you do decide to go at your goal after the failure, after the setback, after the disappointment, make sure that you do go after it again. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. It's a little bit shorter than the videos that I usually make, but I didn't have a lot to say about this. I just wanted it to be a nice short video on how to overcome setbacks and failures, because I went through a bit of a setback in my life today, but I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm not going to quit on the goal. I've sat back and I've said, well, this happens to everyone. Everyone has setbacks. I know that it doesn't make me any less than I am right now, because I actually went out and tried to do something, but I've now been able to analyse what's gone wrong, what were the signs that I missed, and how I can make sure that it doesn't go wrong the next time. Because I am going to try again, and I'm not going to give up no matter what people say, no matter what happens to me. I'm going to achieve my goals. So if you have found this message useful, make sure to leave a like on the video and a comment as well, letting me know what it is that you're going to be doing to transform your life today. And while you're down there, why not subscribe to the channel as well. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one very soon.